Hi everyone, this is Dango. In this video, we are going to talk about the single strategy in Apex Arena. How do you use that and how do you counter it? So Zelda M is one of the is one of the player that's basically focus on single target only in the box. And Barkier, on the other hand, is the AoE focused player. We are going to talk about AoE box later, but today we are focusing on the single target strategy. And so, for example, the Leonhardt in Zelda M's box usually would carry the AoE plus single target skill, whereas the Leonhardt in Bakier's box is going to usually use the double AoE here. So this is basically the difference between an AoE box and a single target box. For single target box, the goal is very clear: ban Landius first, and kill Juggler, and then you have some other thing to kill the rest of the team. So here, this other thing is Yusuke or Dietrich or Leonhardt. No, not Leonhardt, but Omega. Yeah, Omega is actually the weak point of the box that we can discuss later. Back here, lose the pick ban already by first ban Omega here. So yeah, so basically he first picks Landius, and then the second pick is Liana. Liana is one of a support character. Bakir bans the Wailer first. This is why Zelda here is getting Liana a little bit higher in the sequence. And then here we go. It's going to be Night of Mystery. So this is basically what Zelda M used to kill the Juggler. And then he needs to get another thing. So basically another character to clear the other characters after the Juggler is killed. So the best character for that is going to be Yusuke. So that can be predicted to be the next pick. So from Zelda M's pick and ban, it is very clear. So to get the Liana first as the second player, that can be very helpful in killing the tank because you can act again. And then you get the Net of Mystery, which is a very powerful unit to kill the Juggler. And then he's worrying about, what I do after I kill the Juggler. So Yusuke is getting picked. So this kind of composition is very, very typical. You can see that in methods, in method battle. You can see that in Luxid battle. You can see that in Hazuchio battle. You can see that in my battle. You can see that in Zelda battle. So basically, the component here, Landius as the tank and faction buff, Liana as the health supporter. If you don't have Liana, you have Ares, Wailer, and Tiaris. They all work. They just works a little bit differently. These three characters increase the damage, so can allow your characters to one-shot the tank, whereas Liana can allow you to act again. So it basically provides you a little bit more room when killing the tank. And then the last pick is the actually Dietrich, which is another character that can increase the damage dealt and can also be very good in killing these other characters because she can act again. The mobility for Dietrich is very high. So this is basically, especially here, this is a STO here. So back here is using double tank. So you should not only worry about just a kill Juggler, you also need to kill the STO. And Dietrich is the best character to kill the STO. So, and then let's just see how the single strategy works. So as I said again, so Landius usually is what this kind of single target player usually want. Because Barkier is an AoE player, so he's more worried about Juggler instead of Landius. So usually playing against an AoE player, you would actually be able to get the Landius. So after you get the Landius, usually what you need is a character to kill the tank. Usually it's going to be Juggler because you ban Landius first almost in every game. So that one to kill the Juggler can be Net of Mystery, can be Claret, can be Ares, which is going to be released later. It can be Hihei as well. Hihei with the heal rewards is very strong in killing Juggler. And if you have a super strong Dietrich and you have any of these attack support, for example Tiaris or Ares, then Dietrich has the potential to kill the Juggler as well. But here the Dietrich is basically trying to kill the STO. We can already see that from the troop selection. the Yusuke also has high potential to kill the STO because the troop selection is heavy infantry here. So this is basically a very typical single target box. There is nothing of AoE, like there is zero AoE here. The Net of Mystery is using double single target scale. There is essentially zero AoE in Zelda's box. And the goal is very clear, to kill Juggler and use Yusuke to kill the rest, or use Deteriorate also to help to kill the rest. And this is basically what Zelda did. So you can see that at the end of round 1 actually, this Zelda already found a very good chance. Backyard's Juggler is pretty solid actually, but the training is lacking. The Lobster here is missing a lot of the health point and the magic defense. So what happens is like this Net of Mystery just one shot that Juggler here. Not even a crit attack. So this is basically you really have low training, and the method that Zelda is using is very effective against any of the lower training player. So for example, if I check your previous play, I figure that your Juggler is lacking, like the training is very low, then I can just use these kind of characters. I don't even need any of the like attack buff, like Miracle of the Sea, Seeds of the Miracle, or Attack Blessing, or Iris Teleport, or Valor 3-cost skill. I don't even need that to kill your Juggler. For example, if Zelda had Clarity instead, not having Net of Mystery, it is still going to be a kill because the Juggler is just very lacking of training. You can see if you have a maxed trained Juggler, for example, the Lobster health point should be above 12k, right? So this suggests that the health point is not max, the magic defense is also not max, and I assume the tech, the technology that you can get is also not max. You get one technology that you will have more defense, more magic defense in water when you are being attacked. So that actually helps a lot when trying to survive any Unicorn unit. Here you don't have that, you basically is dead. So that Juggler is dead, that's basically how the single target strategy works, and then this Deteriorate and Yusuke is going to clear the rest. Yeah, so and this STO is basically died to Deteriorate. This is going to be a very high damage. Yeah, 60k damage, guys, 60k damage. So yeah, this is basically how the single target strategy works. If we go back to the pick and ban tier, so Zelda has everything he needs, like a character that can kill your tank, a character that can clear out the rest of the team, and also a healer and a tank. So Zelda really got what he wants to have. In this case, it's basically the game is kind of over after the pick and ban. Because of this Liana from second player, Zelda M said, it is very hard for your Juggler and STO to, survive the Zelda M. The length, the length of Net of Mystery is 5 mobility, so that's very high in mobility, and basically after pick and ban FC, Backyard already lost the game. You cannot afford to let Zelda M to have such a team. This is basically the perfect team for the single target game here. So what should you do on pick and ban? As I said, for these games, for this third game, Backyard already lose right after he banned the Omega first. Omega is actually one of the weak points in Zelda M's box. The Omega cannot do much actually against the Backyard. For example, if you check Backyard's box, Yusuke you cannot kill with Omega, and this Hihei you cannot kill with Omega unless you actually break the tank first. Luna, if you have high skill enough, that Omega is not a worry. And Sakura you cannot kill with Omega because Sakura has enough skill, Leonhardt has enough skill. So Gizlov is whatever. Even Omega kills Gizlov, that doesn't matter that much. Bazo could be one of the only targets that is killable by Omega. Iris, if you use the Bonnet Archer, then he's pretty much safe. So this Omega first ban is very bad for Backyard, especially if you are using an AoE box. If you hit the Omega, for example, if you hit the Omega with any of the AoE, then Omega's health point is not going to be full. Without full health point, Omega's kill ability actually decreased significantly. So I know a lot of players are afraid of Omega, but yeah, you have a lot of methods to deal with Omega instead of just banning it. If you ban Omega, it opens up the land use for the single target player, which is basically Zelda's favorite tank and favorite characters in any of these playoff battles. And then here, Backyard did the red ban. I don't know why he didn't do that in Game 3, but he did the red ban here, because this is what Zelda's box have to kill the juggler. Those characters both have very long lag, and yeah, they have very high kill potential. So these two characters are basically the favorite characters for any of the single target players here. Yeah, like if you let this kind of if you let Zelda to have land use with Claret and the Net of Mystery, with your juggler is basically dead. If you let through it to Zelda, then the game is already over. So this is the red ban to do from the first game, and then so Zelda has to get the Zoraida here. So because Zelda don't have any of the characters to go through the juggler now, so if you check the box, it is not very easy to kill the juggler now. Yulia can kill the juggler, but Yulia has only 3 mobility, whereas juggler has 6 threatening range, actually 10 threatening range. So you can, yeah, so those characters, they cannot reach juggler easily before getting jumped. So this Yulia is not actually that high in the pick list. So Zelda tries to do the Zoraida pick here. Basically, instead of trying to kill the juggler, now Zelda's strategy is based on to kill the characters that is around juggler. So that is actually very not efficient for the single target player here. So, and after this pick and ban, you still let Zelda to have one of the juggler slayer, which is Yulia, and there is also a gospel for Yulia. So this box is still okay to fight. But if you check Backyard's team here, this team is full of debuff here. Zoraida is just a one trade material. But those characters, there are 4 AoE in Backyard's box. So those characters are very dangerous to Zelda, and now the key thing is this juggler will not be killed. Yulia is the only character that can kill juggler, but Yulia only has 3 mobility. Yeah, like the only way for Zelda's Yulia to work is this Yulia triggers a crazy amount of breeze. Then it is very hard for those characters to jump in. If this Yulia is not having any of the breeze, then it is actually very easy for Backyard to initiate the battle. This juggler with Luna is especially strong. This is basically having 5 mobility when Luna is using Wind God Realm. So you have 5 mobility, you can jump in 3, that's 5 plus 3. This is actually outranging the Zoraida here. Same thing, this Luna here also buff the mobility of Leonhardt, of Bazo if you are using Crystal Warlock, and also Gitlov. So this is a very successful pick and ban from Backyard's side. Basically, he's shutting down all the characters that can have threatening to kill the juggler before juggler even jumps in. After your juggler jumps in, this is going to be a huge AoE damage. So Liliana needs to react to heal back after juggler jumps in. And this basically provides a room and provide a chance for those other characters to jump in. So this is why in this battle, Backyard's pick and ban works more successfully. So this is how you fight against a single target player. The first ban Omega is not really good. I mean, if you're playing AoE here, probably your first ban is going to be Juggler. So Zelda still gets the land use. And then the second ban here, is very critical. Ban Claret and Net of Mystery. After you ban these two, it is already very hard for Zelda to kill your juggler. And the key for Backyard's box is juggler. Like you cannot lose your juggler when you are fighting against this single target box. Right? If you let Zelda have any of those, and then have any of like Virish or like a Yusuke, then after the juggler is dead, the other characters is going to be killed by either Virish or the Yusuke here, or even Yulia, or even Dietrich. So that is very, very dangerous if you don't ban these two characters. So I don't know why Backyard didn't try the same way as of the game 1, to ban this Claret and Night of Mystery. But this is basically how Zelda lost the game 1, but the game 3 Backyard had no chance, because this is just how single target box works. So if you're playing a single target box, you try to have the thing to kill the enemy's tank, usually it's juggler. So you try to have Claret, Night of Mystery. You can even put Sonia in a box if you have Sonia. Sonia can kill juggler as well, and you can have Dietrich with some attack support to kill juggler as well. So you want to pick those things, and then you want to get some healers, either to support your attackers and to support the team, and then you also want to have something that can kill the rest of the team after you kill the tank. So that can be either the Yusuke or Dietrich. So Yulia here is also another weak point for Zelda. I don't know why he still runs Yulia, but yeah, Yulia and Omega are the weak point of the box. But yeah, this is what you can see from a single target player. Usually they want to kill your tank first and then have something to kill the rest of the team. If you don't let this kind of single target player to get through your tank easily, there will always be a chance for you to win. You can even let through the Zareta. It is not as bad as letting through the Night of Mystery and Claret. So this is all about the single target strategy, about how do you use that and how do you counter that. So in the future we are going to talk more about the rush and AoE strategy. Peace.